From News Chopper 11, hovering just outside the Crab Nebula, it's Nerd News from Asteroid G. You're listening to Nerd News with Asteroid G. I'm Mike Finkelstein here at the news desk. With me, as always, here at News Station 1 on the Asteroid G satellite is...
Josh Schaefer.
That is? Damn. Not like sports or anything?
I try to say that as neutral and robotic as possible.
And with the weather, Queen Bee.
And watching Bex.
just you like to watch?
I do.
Today we are doing, of course, Nerd News right here, and we have a few different things that we can go over, but before all the actual nerdy stuff that we can cover for today, I kind of feel like we're back once again talking about events of the world, and that would be COVID-19, the virus that keeps on giving.
Bum, 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 bum. Yep.
So, the vaccines are out, and as per the Biden administration, we are up to 100 million people vaccinated in the United States. So, I mean, that's a good goal. That's nice. That's what, like a third of our population have gotten at least one shot against the COVID virus?
Yeah, I have one shot. I got mine yesterday. I got the Pfizer boy right in my arm hole.
That makes sense because they did release it for 40-year-olds.
I'm not 40. Wait.
What?
Do I look 40?
No, it's fine, Josh.
Josh, I have to tell you, your two kids have been very hard on you.
I mean, you're not wrong.
But, yeah, so...
And
I guess
copious amounts of pizza?
Yeah. I guess that's a good thing. I mean, it's good that we're not, getting the virus, and that virus cases are down here in the state of Indiana, for example. At the height, it was, 8,000 people that were regularly infected, like just the consistent average, or something.
Yeah, something like...
Yeah, and now it's less than 1,000 people, just slightly less, but less than. So that's good. We're back towards where we were, June or so of last year, as opposed to November at the height of Trump's indifference.
He wasn't indifferent. He just didn't care.
Isn't that the same thing?
That's the same thing. That's kind of the same thing.
That's repetitive and redundant.
It's not indifference because that would indicate that he actually cared at some point or would have some care about it. I think it's not indifference, it's ignorance.
He cared about it when he got it.
I know, right? When he had coronavirus, he cared a lot and got the best doctors ever. Then he said it was all fake and didn't matter again.
I think he never had it. I think that was all a publicity stunt.
It was a really bad publicity stunt. It made him look awful.
I know, but he's of the opinion that what is it? No bad press is bad press. All press is good press. I don't know what that is.
All press is good press. Yeah.
Let's put on our tinfoil hats for a second and indulge in some conspiracy theories here. Not that I'm saying this is actually what happened, just that if you were going to indulge in this kind of thinking, they could have said he had the coronavirus because that would have been a lot better than what it actually might have been, like a heart attack or something else.
Yeah, that is more likely.
Yeah. So, but that's tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, and while it's something to do with that, I'm not saying that's actually the case. So
don't mock my tinfoil hat; it's very stylish,
very jaunty, right there. So, but I think we're in a better place in general. I think people are stupid for going out and wanting to eat at restaurants or potentially going to movies or anything. I think that's ridiculous, and we aren't there yet. And I mean,
that's just the start of the fourth wave.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not even certain we're ever going to be there, because, I mean, all it takes is a big enough evolution of this virus, which they're predicting will happen, and then we're right back up to 8,000 cases a day. Like, the chance for us to stomp this virus out was last May, and we failed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like people they don't believe in evolution anyway, so why would they think that the virus would mutate again and again every time it passes on from person to person? So the only way to stop that is to, stop going the fuck out and all that, but no. No, it's fine if it becomes a seasonal flu, because, guess what? That used to be the Spanish flu. Thanks, guys.
Although happily,
Mhm.
flu itself is almost dead right now because everyone's been wearing masks.
That was a nice bonus.
That's a nice bonus. That's one bonus. Only the one, but it was nice. So,
I didn't get strep this year. I think that's the first time I haven't got strep for a long time.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Woo! So, hooray for not being around people and wearing masks. Let's keep doing that for the rest of our lives.
Yeah,
I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing a headline right now where it's like New York sees 97% fewer cases of flu this
Yeah.
season than last.
See?
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think come flu season every year, I'm just going to wear a mask again, even if, like, COVID goes away and we can go back to being normal society. Like, I don't think it's worth taking the chance anymore.
I agree. Japan and Asia, other Asian countries do it all the time too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Sure.
going to say the same thing. We need to adopt their, culture in that regard. And it's like, don't, but, it also requires people to actually think about others. But still,
Yeah.
even as a precautionary measure, just going out around the season with a mask on, yeah, I'm totally going to be in it. Plus, I have a bunch of cute masks right now. Why don't I want to show them off?
Cute masks and jaunty hats.
Tinfoil
Yeah.
hats.
Yep.
You can make faces at people and they will never know. That's my favorite thing.
I mean,
Yes.
I'd make faces at people whether they knew or not, so.
Yeah.
You just make faces. That's
do.
all it is.
You're a fucking idiot. What the hell is your problem? I didn't even need a mask to do that.
So let me lead into something else that kind of
Sure.
fits with COVID,
Sure.
because it was our former president who kind of started this, and I'm kind of insulted by it. Truly, the whole attack on Asians.
Yes.
It being called the Kung flu, the China flu, the whatever flu, and here's what I'm upset about. There was a shooting of 8 people. 6 of them were Asian in a massage parlor.
It's like 3 massage
Mhm.
parlors, I think. I think
3
he went to
different
like
ones.
3 of them, yeah.
The white cop who spoke on it the other day was basically saying the guy was upset. He had a bad day, and that's what led to it. This wasn't racially motivated, which is complete BS. We all know this.
Yep.
I mean, he
But-
went to massage parlors, which are an Asian stereotype to begin with.
Traditionally.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, as far as
Yeah.
the stereotype is concerned, traditionally an Asian sort of location. I mean,
But why I'm really upset is because they're saying that he's just a nerd. I'm
Yeah.
so offended by that.
nerds don't
It's
pick
like-
up guns generally and do that. Disaffected people do, but that doesn't make them nerds.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think they
exactly.
mean incel. I think that's the word they're looking for.
Yeah, incel is right, not nerds. Incels are different people.
So,
But you
yeah,
are-
I was
you are
really
right. This
offended
was-
that they would call him a nerd.
This was a targeted attack because it wasn't just, by going to the massage parlors, the specifically Asian massage parlors that he targeted, he was going after not only Asians, but specifically Asian women who are generally the ones who work at these kind of parlors.
Asian businesses.
Yeah, Asian business women specifically.
Yeah.
Because if he'd wanted to attack just any Asians at all, he could have gone to an Asian church, which you can just find by looking for the writing on the outside of the building, because generally they have like English and whatever language is like the church is run in, and it's really really easy to see like what language. Like even if you don't know they are, you can tell they're Asian. Could have attacked restaurants. Could have gone for another stereotype and attacked, like, dry cleaners. Could have just gone to Chinatown and done whatever he wanted with that, Like, he specifically went to these locations, which means it wasn't just Asians he was interested in killing, but Asian women who, quote-unquote, were sex workers, which that's an even worse stereotype to raise, and most of them are not doing that at their Asian massage parlors. I'm just,
Right?
he was motivated. This was a premeditated attack, and the police officer that spouted off about all of that is a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was because what, like, like if on 9/11, W. Bush went out and said, "Hey, these terrorists were just having a bad day.
Well, he
Like,
wouldn't have though, because they were brown skinned and this guy was white skinned, and that's the point.
yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
just completely
Yeah, I
asinine.
agree. I agree.
Like I've had a lot of bad days, and my body count is 0.
And we are very disappointed in you, Josh.
I know. I'm sorry.
I didn't realize you had a free pass there, Josh.
Apparently so, because like I don't know, like that whole thing is,
Yeah.
and having part Asian children definitely doesn't help because they listen to stuff.
Yeah. Well, and it raises,
So
I mean, it's the point that people have mentioned, and you alluded to there as well, which is the fact that if this had been a black person who was doing this, like, whether or not he even made it to the first massage parlor would be in doubt, but certainly he wouldn't have been, like, allowed to live to be able to say, I was just having a bad day. Like, he would have
I'm
been
a
shot.
sex addict.
Yeah, he would have been shot in the back, like, immediately.
Yep.
So, yeah. Like,
He'd have 5 warning shots to the back.
yeah, exactly. The fact that the white guy is still alive when black people who haven't even done anything in the last year have been shot 5 times in the back by police officers speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So doing that was a very. I know that Josh's spouse has been quite verbal on Facebook with regards to her situation, and
Super mad about it. I mean, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
obviously, and then we have a lot of support going around, but come on, America, we need to be better than
We
this.
should do better. Yeah,
come
we
on.
can do better. We need to do better. Yeah.
We need to. I think we're like a good 20 years out still. But it's the same crap that we've seen since like the 60s, though.
Yep.
Like,
and before.
yeah.
Yep.
It's just unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, let's do a really terrible transition. And speaking of black people, Falcon and Winter Soldier came out.
Yeah, didn't it?
That was the best transition.
I thought you were going to say that Joss Whedon is a piece of shit. I thought that's
we can get to that
there
too.
was an Asian story plot line in it, so
yeah, there are Asian characters in the first episode, and I'm assuming that plot line will carry through at least the second, if not longer. But no, the first episode of that came out, and it's like okay. So not to spoil anything, because I know Josh, you are still like
I'm very behind.
5 Marvel products behind at this point as far as the cinematic universe is concerned.
Hold on. I need to watch Endgame still. I've seen Spider-Man.
Yep.
I need to see Captain Marvel.
Okay.
And I need to see
WandaVision.
Which
really is like long enough to be 2. And then have you actually gone back and watched Age of Ultron yet?
Oh, I keep forgetting I haven't watched that one. I feel like at this point I don't really need to watch
it. You really
it.
don't. It's only if you want to bitch with us about it and complain about how bad that movie is, which we could do a
But
longer
I love James Spader in it.
For what he's in.
Spader's...
He was great. Yeah, he is awesome.
So, but yeah, you are literally 5 behind if we count WandaVision as 2.
I am.
You're gonna lose your nerd card there, Josh.
I'm more of a DC dude anyway, so it's...
Which we will get to shortly. Don't you worry about that, good sir. But yeah, no.
Commonly, let's move on to...
Hold on.
Zack Snyder is out there.
Before we do this, but I was going to say something.
Okay, go ahead.
So what I find, without spoiling too much, what I find interesting in this first episode that is out, because it just came out yesterday as we're recording this, is the fact that for a show called Falcon and Winter Soldier, the first episode, they don't share a single scene together at all.
Oh, so they're doing the Netflix Arrested Development treatment.
Some of this was filmed before COVID, so some of these scenes definitely weren't. But you can definitely tell there are some scenes where they're keeping people socially distanced as they do stuff. Lots of ones and twos and shots,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. But at the same time, like it's just interesting that they don't share. Like if you watch the trailer, they share plenty of scenes eventually, but they don't have anything yet. So the entire first episode is a lot of character and plot setup, which when your show is only 6 episodes long, That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I liked it for what it was. It was interesting. It's very much a Captain America show without Captain America so far, which I don't know how else you could do that. You've got his two sidekicks in their own show. It's going to be all about Cap. But WandaVision was also good. Like, these shows are much better than the Netflix ones were. And I really liked the first season of Daredevil and all of Jessica Jones.
I liked the first season of Daredevil.
Yeah. So.
I did get through Jessica Jones.
Wow. Which, you hate Kristen Ritter, so that's impressive.
I did, but I love David Tennant, so...
Yeah, worth it for Tennant.
It was. I would agree with that. And he kept showing up after that first season, which was great.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
So, yeah. So, but no, I like, there were parts of the old Marvel TV that I really enjoyed. Agent Carter, and actually everything from season 3 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on. And, a couple of the Netflix shows had a couple decent seasons there. But for the most part, I feel like the Marvel Studios run TV shows are doing much better than they did when everything was separate.
That is a good take from your brain hole.
So it does look like they will be hiring the same actors who played Daredevil and from that team into major movies. So including the villain, Kingpin.
Yeah. They want to keep doing Daredevil as if the show didn't end, but they also want to treat it like it's an entirely new thing. So I don't know exactly how much of the old storyline they're going to respect and how much they're going to kind of like soft boot it,
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Kristen Ritter has said she doesn't want to come back for Jessica Jones if they do a new one. And they've already said that they're going to recast Luke Cage and Iron Fist.
Well, I can understand that because everybody hated who played Danny in that, even though...
He was awful. Danny Rand was so awful.
I didn't have a problem with him, but I can see them wanting to redo that. And I actually didn't have a problem with the actor for Luke Cage. I thought he was fine, but the writing was awful.
It got really bad, like second season on. It deteriorated fast.
Really? Because I couldn't even get through the first 3 episodes.
I liked the first season.
For which one?
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage.
Oh.
It was very rooted in like the writing style of like blaxploitation and modern black movies. So like if that's a genre you don't like, which I know I do, and you do, Josh, so you might be able to enjoy it. Like it's not going to necessarily be a storytelling style that you like.
Yeah, it's not a style that I particularly like, which makes it hard for me to watch. But I'm sure that the Black community enjoyed it quite a bit.
Certainly, at least the first season.
Yeah. But as I said, I didn't think that his acting was bad at all. I think the writing was terrible, and that it could have been done so much better. I mean, even if it was even more along the lines of Empire, it would have been a little bit better.
Well, the thing that people complained about often with Netflix shows there for the Marvel Universe was that they were all way too long. Like, 13 episodes was way too much time for the show to pace itself. And the thing that you will notice that Marvel is doing now on the Disney Plus shows is that they're sticking to like 9 episodes or less.
Mm-hmm.
So everything has to move for them to just keep the pace going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but okay, moving into the next part of that, which is...
Yeah, which I was going to mention, which is the fact that 2 days ago at this point, Zack Snyder's Justice League came out.
Now, did you watch it?
Oh, I absolutely did, because I'm a nerd, and I had to review it for the website. I liked it.
Did you?
I did. I feel bad, dirty saying that, but I liked it. So, I have a full review that's up, that you can go over and read all about my thoughts on the matter. But essentially what it boils down to is, I went in expecting to hate it, because it's unfiltered Zack Snyder. And I thought, like, the previous version of the movie was very, not disjointed, but you could kind of see the seams where the two directors were fighting against each other, more or less. This one is definitely all Zack Snyder, which, if you've seen Dawn of the Dead, not a good thing. But, it works here. Like, apparently what the director needs to be able to, like, settle down and tell a long and cohesive story is 4 hours and an increased budget and a studio off his back to let him do whatever weird flighty things that he wants. Because the movie felt cohesive and like it had a real story, and the characters were given time to get actual character growth, and I felt weird, but I actually got sucked in and spent 4 hours watching this thing and enjoyed it.
Okay, well, if that's what it takes, I will probably watch at some point. I was like going, honey, it's 4 hours. That's longer than Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Well, only one of them. If you watched all 3 of them back to back, that's 12 hours of unfiltered Peter Jackson. So, you know,
right.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
And it feels even longer if you try and watch The Hobbit. Oh. Anyway. But yeah, no, you have to want to watch it, which, I mean, anyone who's seen Batman v Superman in the original cut of Justice League, maybe you won't. But you have to want to watch it. But if you do want to watch it, I'd give it a recommend.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm interested in it, but like I'm also like 12 out of 10 really angry at the whole Joss Whedon thing. Not at at Joss Whedon because he's a piece of shit, but I'm glad that it seems like they like I forget his name, the guy who plays Cyborg Ray. Is it Ray Parker? No, not Ray Parker.
Fisher.
Ray Fisher. It seems like he was vindicated though because Cyborg actually has a plot line and
he does. Oh, it's a good plot line too. He gets a lot more. All the characters get a lot more. Some of the character motivations are completely different. Like Lois Lane is treated better in this version of the movie. Hell, Steppenwolf is actually a real character and not just this guy that shows up, rants a couple times, and then dies.
What?
I know, right? They actually wrote a villain that worked. Who knew? There's more development for it's just everything is better developed in this. And, like, yes, of course you would expect that because it's 4 fucking hours long. But it's put to good use, honestly.
Good. No, that's very encouraging. I like that.
Yep. So, yeah. Every artist just needs to be given an unlimited budget and 4 hours to make their movies now. That's the rule.
I'm hoping that this helps with other things to get made. Like the new thing that people are trying to do is apparently there's an NC-17 cut of Mrs. Doubtfire somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah, because of Robin Williams being Robin Williams.
Yeah.
So that's the next thing that people are trying to get pushed out from the studios.
See, what I'd actually hope for is that the original director's cut from David Ayers or whatever his name is of Suicide Squad gets released.
That'd be dope. Yeah.
Because that's one that I heard where the original cut was darker and grittier and very different, and then they did extensive reshoots and changed even how the villain did stuff and everything, and it completely muddled the movie. I would be interested in seeing what his original thought process was for that film.
Yeah.
And then if we're going to just reboot everything, let's pretend Zack Snyder didn't do the first take on it, and let's go have Zack Snyder's Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
let him go back and refilm shit and actually make that movie work.
Yeah.
I bet Ryan Reynolds is really interested in listening to all of this because I'm sure he wants to go back and redo some of his films.
Ryan Reynolds is Green Lantern.
Yeah, Green Lantern would be number 1 to redo. I've been reading some of the things he has said about it. He goes, that is the biggest ball of crap I have ever made.
He says this, but just this last week for St. Patrick's Day, he finally went and watched the film.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
And doesn't he still have the ring?
Yeah, he does. I mean, people take props off movie sets all the time, and it's the one time you get to be Green Lantern. Come on.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, I would love to see him, what he would do with it if it was his baby. Like, gets to make all the decisions on it. I'd be interested in that.
I mean, that's the long and the short of it. If Ryan Reynolds gets to do it any way he wants, it would be called Deadpool. So,
right, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
At the Green Lantern movie or Deadpool?
Deadpool.
Why are you mad at Deadpool?
I said I'm not mad at Deadpool.
Oh. You liked that movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
It was funny.
Making sure. I know you have a serious hate boner out for Wolverine, so.
I don't have a hate boner for Wolverine. I think his movies minus Logan are trash.
and the nerd community that loves him and puts him in everything is also trash.
No. I did like his cameo in was it First Class?
First Class. That was a funny cameo. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember chatting with you back in the day at the comic book store though, and you had some rants about Wolverine and the fact that he shows up in everything.
Yeah, it's annoying because it's like, why do I need 15 Wolverine books? I think 2 is sufficient.
I would think 1 is sufficient because two if there's one where he's a superhero and goes off and does stuff, and the other one where he sits in his cabin in his like smoking jacket, like with a cigar, and just reads good literature. 2 books of space. Yeah, I would watch that.
Yeah, and I think I actually remember that rant I was doing at the comic book store too, because that was when he was in like Avengers and he was in 3 X-Men books and
that are all supposedly running concurrently, and he has 4 very different plot lines going on.
Yeah, it's like, how is he in Japan, in America, and Canada, and Europe at the same time?
And on an asteroid in space. Yeah, like...
Too much, man.
He is too much man for any one of us to take, that's true. But yeah, no, Masterpiece Theater hosted by Wolverine at his cabin, I would watch that.
Yeah, I'd watch that. I also like Hugh Jackman, so...
Huge fan.
Yeah. And then he can do a little soft shoe, like in between episodes. He can do a little soft shoe. It'd be fun.
He's amazing. Hugh Jackman is amazing. Okay, what else is new? Is in
I don't know.
Nerd
That's what I was
World?
going to ask you guys.
Any new games that have come out?
So, I feel bad admitting this, but I don't have a filter when it comes to this podcast or anything else I do. So I discovered that back in September, although we didn't know it at the time, there was a Castlevania-style game that came out on Steam. And the reason why I'm embarrassed to say this, but I'm saying it anyway, is because it's a porn game. So...
Oh.
It's one of those, hentai-style games where when the girl takes enough damage as she's battling through whatever, she gets naked because hentai games. It's Midnight Castle Succubus is what it's called. And the only reason why I'm actually paying attention to it and playing it is because one, it has a safe for work mode that you can turn on. That's like 80% of the actual game that's playable, which is pretty cool. And two, whether you play safe for work or not safe for work, it's a really good Castlevania game. It's really... I hate the fact that it's actually as good as it is, because then you get, porn in the middle of it, and I'm like, well, I'm not that I'm against the porn, but, it makes it hard to discuss it without seeing, lech.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Well, plus, and... Because, I got to watch him play it, and I was just annoyed, because the flashes that they... I'm just I don't know. I was annoyed. Why have it there if you're not allowed to linger a little?
Yeah, it goes by very quickly. It's almost embarrassed that it's a porn game, even though it's made by people who make porn games. So, this was their way of trying to make a game that seemed legitimate, but at the same time, they still had to put porn in it to cater to their audience.
Yeah, I'm just asking them to not be a tease. If you're going to be a porn game, embrace it.
Be a porn game.
Okay, but you just said it. You said you don't want them to be a tease, but it's a porn game. So
commit.
I mean, when I take damage, I always get naked. So I'm just saying.
I mean, you got a
things
point
I
there.
learned about my sister.
There does need to be a build-up.
Well, because I'm going to take a shower and then, put Band-Aids on and other things. I mean, that's really how... I think everybody gets naked when they take damage. I'm not quite sure why this is such a special considered porn game.
Other than that, no, I think we're pretty well caught up on the subjects of the day.
Okay.
So this has been Nerd News from Asteroid G. I'm your host, Mike Finkelstein.
I'm your other host, Mike Finkelstein.
Weather Girl, Queen Bee.
And I'm the watcher, Mike Finkelstein.
And apparently all of us Mikes will see you next time.